Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Today I would like to tell you guys about my subject for this time is training for traders. So basically me and my team will tell you guys about what we are studying in training for traders subject, and also we will give you an example what activity that we done. So okay guys, let's hear about what the first thing that we learn from this class. So this class has been instructed by Sir Anwar Ali. He's a very talented with training for trainer subject. So the first thing first that we learn from this class is openness. Openness is really important because for him, if his class has openness, the learning will be smooth and gain trust. So the first thing that we learned about is TNA, which is training needs analysis. Training needs analysis is very important in training session because we as a trainer need to know what our participant needs, and so that our training will be success and get DNA. So another thing that we learned in his subject for the first day is about human beings have 4 types, which is this way up, perchat, keep track, and handle to care. So for this way up is we know that human being need to fulfill his desire. So we as a trainer need to know our participant very well. The second one is handle to care. Handle to care is we know humans are not a thing, so we need to handle it with care, and they will have a good training session in parts of the training. The third one is fragile. We know we as a human are have a very sensitive heart, so some of the training session don't even need to touch any sensitive issues because we don't even know what is the sensitive issue that related to our participant. And the last one is keep track, because we don't even want our participant bad all the time in our training session. 4 types of attitude, which is controller, followers, promoter, and analysis. For controllers, they will be the one that control the situations or training session in this group. For the followers, they will follow and gain trust from the controller. So promoter, they like to be in spotlight and get more compliment. And for analysis, they need every backup plan in everything that he do. So how to handle all this type of people? So for controller, you need to accept anything or everything that they give to you at first. So for follower, you need to gain trust and influence them what you need to give to them. For promoter, it's very easy. Compliment. They will follow you everywhere and anywhere. And for analysis, if anything you need to propose to them, you make a 2 or 3 proposal because they also need a backup plan. So, end of this class, end of this session, Sir Anwar Ali also give our assessment, which is to create a t-shirt that reflect us as an instructor. So this is the design of the t-shirt. Okay guys, so you guys already know about what we are learning in our first day class, right? So let's go to the next, which is we start our first chapter. The first chapter is understanding facilitator. So before we start more deeper about our chapter is Sir Anwar Ali giving us a task, which is we need to build or we need to set a ground rule for our classes. So after a few suggestions and a combination of words, we are continuing with the fourth ground rule, which is openness, fine, understanding, and acknowledgement. So for this foreground rule, we also need to build a keyword that have meaning of this four of ground rule. As after our discussion with all of the classes, our classmates, we build one keyword which is reflect. So this reflect will reflect the ground rule, which is openness, fine, understanding, and acknowledgement. So after we already set out all the ground rules, we start our session, which is we learn about training versus facilitation. Trainer and facilitator are really different, yet they have the same things to do. So for this subject, the key learning is when is training appropriate, so that we know that training sessions are really important, and some of training sessions need a facilitator in the session. I've shared to you guys the activities that we are doing in our class in our first chapter or our first training session. It was really fun, and I hope you are enjoying with this video.
My name is Rafatina, and I am a candidate of Bachelor Degree Hons in Instructional Communication and Training, Faculty of Communication and Media Studies in United Alam. Hi! Instructor future instructor to be. First, I'm recording my video today. I'm going to share to all of you what did I learn during the whole semester under course CIT 512 Instructional Training for Trainers. So overall there are 10 chapters if I'm not mistaken. But today I'm going to share to you a week before we have a registration order because of COVID-19. I'm going to share to you the chapter 3 fall under chapter 3, how facilitation helps group. Stay tuned. During the whole day, which is on Tuesday, a week before we start PKP, this chapter is more like there are 5 key learnings in this chapter. The first one is the skills, the second is what makes group work effective, the third is facilitator roles and limitation, the fourth is process of training, and the fifth is process of developing content. And for the first key learning is the skill. A lot of skills for facilitator out there to expert in, but at the same time there are a lot of skills for trainer too. So my opinion on the skills which is for trainer and for instructor and for the facilitator, we have to achieve something. We have to, in order to get the skills, we have to train ourselves and try it ourselves. Example, for our module, so we have to do a pilot study in order to get the objective, achieve the objective and also the goals. That's for the skills. Not to mention, in this chapter, Sir Anwar divided us into 5 groups, which is representing the 5 key learnings, and my groups will be presenting the second key learning, which is what makes group effective. During the whole process of discussion, argumentation, we come up with this one idea, which is very interesting, which are what makes groups effective by using our formula, which is ta-ra-pa-pa-pa, I love you, L-A-B-E-U, love you. L stands for leadership. As we know, there are lots of leadership training camp and also sessions for leaders out there and for us in order to get the best leadership in our organization, for sure. So the first is leadership. We must have the best leadership in order to lead our group, because a leader is a crucial role in order to organize the group, because without leader, all of the members will fall apart. And the second acronyms for love you, which is A for attitude. Not that kind of attitude, but in a positive attitude, because in organizing, in working in a group, we must have a good attitude because it gives the best impressions within the members. For the next acronym in love you, B stands for brainstorm. Everything that we do, basically we have to brainstorm together so that we can cope with each other and giving out our opinions and also our suggestions. In a brainstorm, we can have lots of ideas came out from each member. So whenever we had lots of ideas, so we can contribute, and also we can have a lot of mix and match the ideas with our goals and also for our group objectives. Group work. The fourth acronym for love you, E, which is ethical. In every group, we must have ethics and we must adapt ethics. Because, for example, whenever a person giving out his or her idea, so we must remain silent and listen to the idea, not just by interrupt the person. We're back to the fourth key learning for the chapter 3, which is process of training. There are lots of process training happen during the process of training, because we have to take step A into Z. So one of the process of training that I learned during the whole semester, which is we can adapt 8D model or 5 stages of the process training, which is the A for the analysis, D for design, and another D is for development. The fourth, which is I, implementation, and E is for evaluation. For the analysis, first we have to analyze what kind of module that we have to do and what kind of model that we want to develop and build for our audiences. The second is we design the module, which is from the process A to Z, we design the whole process. And for the D, development, we develop the module and we build the module by we try to do the activity activities in the module, or we pilot study the all of the criteria or the activities in the module. For implementation, we implement all of the ADD in the I, which is in the implementation, which is we deliver the module in front of our audiences. And last but not least, we have to do the evaluation in order to improvise our module, in order to improvise our training session, because we have to get the feedbacks from the audiences in order to be the better trainer in future. For key learning for the chapter 3, which is process of developing content. In this develop our content, we have to make sure what kind of content that suits for our audiences, which is we can make the entry skill for them in order to get to know the level of their skills, which is for entry skill search engine survey, and a mini quiz for them. And as we develop the entry skill, so we can get into the next stage, which is even harder from the entry skill. And at the end of the day, you guys deliver the content that we had built together. So we have come to an end for our chapter 3, which is how facilitation work for group. And for my opinion, for chapter 3, facilitation work for group, where we as facilitators, sooner or later, we have to implement all of the key learnings in order to achieve the goals together, because we work as a group, and also we have to support each other through ups and downs. Peace out! Hi guys, I'm back. So for the mask thingy, because I want to deliver the chapter 4, which is we learned during the first week of RMO for COVID-19. And the chapter 4 is how to be heard. In this chapter, there are 7 key learnings that I will explain to all of you, and it is like kind of more recap for this chapter. The first key learning is personality. So for the personality, we as an instructor must take care of our personality, where we have to be, we have to take care of our outfits, our clothes, so that people will have trust in us. So that's why we have to take care of our personality, dress well, because first impression is crucial, so you have to take care of your clothes. Other than that, personality is where you engage with your audiences. You have to know your audiences, how to engage with the audience, the way you have to communicate with them, either in informal or formal. You guys have to switch up, which is if it is serious matter, serious point at the time, or serious session at that time, so we have to do the serious engagement. When it comes to a little bit fun, entertain, so we can switch ourselves into the fun personality. That's for personality. For the second point, which is for the second key learning, which is communication. Ring, 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 ring. For the communication, all we have to do is, even in the communication, we have encoder, we have decoder. So in communication, we have to make sure ourselves alert with the audience, alert with the environment at that time during the training session, and also we have to give attention with their emotion at that time. So whenever they feel bored, whenever they start to yawning, so all we have to do is try to get back their attention by doing games, by the quiz, or by making a joke. So that's how you adapting the communication in how to be heard. So for the third key learning in this chapter on how to be heard, fall under nervousness. It is normal to nervous during our training session or during our presentation, but we have to control the nervousness because nervousness is normal. So we have to overcome this nervousness by our own self, which is we have to get prepared earlier, we have to prepare early, we have to catch up all of the matters fast so that we can we can control our nervous in front of the audiences. Because even if we do not control our nervousness, it will lead to the another side of perception by the audiences. So it is bad for us, because at the end of the day we have to give the positive impact towards the audiences, but not I'm not really say that a bad impact for the audiences, but we have to leave something there for the audience in order to remember what we deliver during the training session or even during the facilitation. Maths on Google Meet, I think for the third time. I think for the third time. Oh no, for the second time. So Sir Anwar did mention few of tips because he wants to become an instructor and also facilitator and also a speaker in so many events he shared to us. So I list out, this is my notes, I list out few of the tips, which is he mentioned that first we have to write what will happen. So we just imagine might be so the audience yawning or maybe the audience asks you questions that sensitive. So we have to, in order to get what will happen, so we have to write. Second is imaging and visualization. By imaging or visualization, Sir Anwar mentioned that we can know and get ready what will happen during our training session. Just visualize, because I think it's important to visualize so that we can be prepared, for the future. So, okay, by closing my eyes, of course, by visualize. For next is my voice projection. So voice projection, I think he mentioned that we have to take care of our voice projection. Either we have to be formal or informal during the training session, and also if we have to get fun and we have to entertain, so our voice projection must be in happy. So if it is serious, so we have to do a serious voice projection. And what will happen if you get angry? No, we cannot get angry. I mean, we can get mad or frustrated, but we have to act professional. And last but not least, confident. Confidence is a crucial thing during the whole, I think, in whatever you do, during presentation, during your deliver, or having the training session, or even doing your homework. You have to get confident, because if you don't have the confidence, how can you do your work? So I think confidence, I know it is not easy and it is hard for us to gain confidence in this level, but you can develop your confidence step by step, and for your reminder, slowly but surely, just build your confidence. Inshallah, you will get better. Yeah, I get lots of flashback during how I build my confidence. And next is technicality. Technicality, where we as an instructor or speaker during in the event, or you have invited to deliver the content or to be a speaker during the event. So we have to check on the technicality, because in order to get prepared, and we do not want any incident happen during our training session, so we have to check on the technicality. Just be prepared. The next skill learning, which is fall under number 4, which is language. So Anwar stated that language is not a barrier, and don't be afraid to speak up. Either that if you guys have it's not good and not fluent in English, just like me, I'm trying my best to speak in English right now, but just try your best. And even though if they are not understand, just ask them, anyone have any question? So the person asks you question, then you try your best to answer the question. Number 5, which is audience. We have to know our audience. We have to know our audience so that we can control some sort of control how they will act, and the age of the audience. And also, for example, like Sir Anwar said that during our training session, we can have some engagement with the audiences. Just like, I reward you, you win this game, I reward you with 50 ringgit, so that the audiences have the urge to participate during our training session. Thank you. 50 ringgit. For number 6, anxiety is normal. When we talk about anxiety, there are lots of issues we can argue in anxiety matter, but overall, everyone have their own anxiety, and everyone have their own anxious in themselves. Either we can control it or cannot. But for me, anxiety is normal. It's really normal. For me, how did I control my anxiety? I prepared myself. For example, in presentation, I prepared myself the night before I present. And also, for example, for my online training session, CPR2, shout out to CPR2. As for CPR2, I trained myself how to use my voice projection, how to use my intonation, and also what kind of content that I want to deliver for my audiences. So during the online training session, my anxiety, of course, we have get some nervousness before the online training start. But as you guys think that, as I think that I have made my preparation, so I think it is okay to have the anxiety a little bit, but just do your best, because people will never stop to talk about you, to think about you. We can never stop what people mind for you, about you. So just do your best. I've already mentioned so many times about just do your best, because it is what it is. So anxiety is normal. Just chill and try your best. Last but not least, of the 7 key learning fall under how to be heard, which is be authentic or original. Being authentic or being original is a must for ourselves, and we just be yourself. What did I mean for be yourself is, you do don't have to be outrageous, because people will look you in other way, are not offense, but people will look that you are fake because you are not being true to yourself and you try to be another side of you. As for me, I try to engage in CPR2. I try to engage with because the audiences, most of them I knew, and I try my best to be professional and also to be in certain part and certain activities. I bring myself, which is I have some entertain them, and yeah, be authentic. That's really important. Be authentic and be original. So there are a few things that Sir Anwar mentioned, besides the tips that I've already said in the video. Other than that, we have to look for the limitation. Either we can control the audiences, either we can get the much attention or response from the audiences, and also we have to good and explain and control back the situation, and we have to connect back with the key learning of our training session. So in meaning that what I understand what this is, we have to get back into our objectives, which is we are not run from our goals or objective for our training session. And another point that Sir Anwar share to us, which is jangan shock sendiri. For me, jangan shock sendiri, which is you are become over the limit. Next is divide your content, which is divide your content stage by stage. What I did for my CPR2, I have 3 stages: stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. And you can bring your story or bring the new things. For me, I share my experience for my CPR2 online training session, which is confidence, preparation, revise, and result. I share my story on how I handle my nervousness and how I share my story in build my confidence and presenting in front of the audiences. And for there is an added point for control nervousness. Visualize good things. So for visualization, we have to visualize all of the good things. Search how the audiences respond to us, which is the outrageous. They are become so responsive. And another thing is how the technicality works, so that whenever you guys speak on the microphone or speak in front of the audiences, all of our voice will be heard smoothly and clearly. So the last is audio system boom meletup. So that's what the technicality, we have to check on the technicality. I guess that's for chapter 4. Okay, chapter 4. Yes, chapter 4, how to be heard. And that's all from me. I'm Najiha, your young instructor.
So our next chapter is diagnosing behavior. We learned that there are 5 key points. Number 1 is risk sensitive. Number 2 is managing context. Number 3 is managing communication roadblocks. Number 4 is elements of empathy. And lastly is emotional intelligence. So let's go through them. Number 1 is be sensitive. You have to be sensitive towards your audience. Get to know them, know what they're feeling, so that you can control the environment. Number 2, managing context. Plan what you're gonna say. Don't talk nonsense. Make sure what you're gonna say is what you're going to teach in your session onwards. Number 3, managing communication roadblocks. Let's say when you are giving a session, suddenly you go blank. You don't know what you're gonna say. Try speaking slowly, or try recap with your audience what you just said. For example, number 1, like be sensitive. Number 2 is managing context, and then you will know what you were going to say after that. Or it may help, you can use flashcards, like put in the important points that you are going to say. Number 4 is elements of empathy. Consider what you're going to say to your audience and try to understand your audience. Try asking them during a session, are they doing okay? Do they want us to repeat the points? Or let them ask you the question if they don't understand it. Number 5 is emotional intelligence. Try controlling your emotions when you're talking. For example, if you're sad, your session is about something sad, so you have to control your emotions so that your audience will get what you want to say. The next chapter is laying groundwork. There are 4 key points. Number 1 is training needs analysis. Number 2 is training objectives. Number 3 is training delivery. And number 4 is training evaluation. Let's go through them. Number 1 is training needs analysis. Before you do your session, you have to give out a small survey to get to know your audience and what do they expect from your session. So when you get back your analysis, you can improvise your module. Number 2 is training objectives. Training objectives works as a guide for you, what you are going to accomplish during your module. What will the audience get from your module, your session? Number 3 is your training delivery. Training delivery is how you control the session. How do you make the session alive? How do you deliver your session, what you're going to say? For example, if they are suddenly bored during a session, you can play like games or do energizer just to keep them off their toes. Make things fun. Do things in a fun way. Number 4 is training evaluation. Training evaluation is a process after your training session. It is a survey where you get feedback from your audiences. They will give feedback on your session, like how your module is, what did they get, what was the highlight of your session, how did you do, and what you should improve. So the evaluation works for you to improvise your module and of course yourself.
Hi, my name is Natasha binti Muhammad Asmi. So by 13th of May, what we learned today is about sharing session with friends, with the lecturer, how we feel during the ODL. Most of the students stated that they feel very excited during the first couple of years of the ODL itself, but after that they get down, get sad because they need to learn it by themselves, because before this they learn with their friends around, but then during the ODL you need to do everything by yourself and it's hard for you to get your helps from your friends like before this. So from the positive vibes you get from the first ODL becomes to the negative vibes that you get from the ODL itself. So what we learn here is not only us feel this way, not only us feel that we are getting down day by day during the ODL, but everyone face the same thing. So don't feel that you are alone, feel this kind of situation, but everyone feel the same way, everyone feel the same thing. So you just need to stand up, you just need to be with your friends, maybe by using a WhatsApp group. Find another solution for you to be with your friend, to be like you feel near with your friends. Okay, so the hashtag that we learn from today is not only you feel this way, everyone feel the same thing. So let's move on and let's do this together. So what we learn today, the next thing that we learn in this chapter 7, which is the intervention in group, where we deciding whether how and why to intervene in a group when we do a training. Like for the first thing is we need to analyze the problem so that we can solve the problem within the company itself. So after we already know the problem and then we know how to solve, then after we conduct the training, we need to know the objective of the training. So after we meet the objective of the training, like we make a design training program by identify the learning objective, things that participants should remember after the session. Maybe we need to put something that they can use and remember after the session over. So after that is by developing a training materials, by using some interesting materials during the training session. Like we do the exercise based on the objective, and other that after the training session is over, us as a trainer, we need to evaluate the trainer, right? So we need to evaluate the trainers a few moments after the training. Okay, so after that we need to monitor the outcome after the training, whether the trainers, the learners use the method that they learn during the training itself, whether it give a positive feedback or the negative one, either they use or the problem with the person itself. So other than that, by using the ground rules, right? Because everyone need to agree with the ground rules that you make to discuss during the training. For example, by openness, or you need to respect the audience when other people is talking. You need to respect and not interrupt. Other than that, by silence your phone during the training. So after you already agree with the ground rules, then you can respect more, and you will learn that how important is the rules is. This is what we learn today. So hashtag not only you. Let's move on to the chapter 8, which is about the facilitative skills on 19th of May, where we learn about how to distinguish your 5 training rules. This is to understand what a training is, to understand why you are a trainer, why you are a coach or a facilitator. So for those a trainer, coach and facilitator, they have a different rules in each job scope. And after it might be if we are jumping into a training provider's industry, so we need to know what is a training provider is. Training provider is a consultant company where design a module for a client. Like we communication students, we learn about how to design the module for our clients. These are our main things as instructional communication students. And different things for a human resource department, where HR department managing a human being, where they manage about the workers in the company itself. So for the training manager will empower the skills for the workers, repair the energy, enhance the knowledge. They will be reporting about this, will be reporting by the training manager. Okay, so the training manager roles is to empower the training executive, the internal trainers, the employee. So the employee will inside the company, so that every month they will top up with the new knowledge, the new skills inside the company for the employees itself, so that every year they will get the new energy the performance will increase, and from that they will achieve the goals, and from this also they will reach where the company is already set out. So they will achieve the goals from the company itself. Okay, so the trainings is the backbone of the company. So the HR department is under the training division, and the training providers, where I said that stated just now, a training providers is pure related to the training itself. Move on to the facilitative skills in an organization. So we have 5 functional under training industry. So the first one is a facilitator. The second one is a facilitator consultant. The third one is the facilitator coach. And the fourth one is a facilitative trainer. And the fifth one is the facilitative leader. So facilitator is an expert. So if you are expert in a medical, so you will be engaged with how to prevent COVID-19. So you are responsible to manage the content for a particular interest. For example, all the lecturers is a facilitator. So the second one is the facilitative consultant. So facilitative consultant, where they run the training providers, the company or the consultant in a particular area of the company. So they need to run the target need analysis, the TNA. What are the needs that the particular company need to make analysis of the company itself instead of the employee. So then they will present the idea to the company to reach out the number in the year for the goals of the company itself. So the third one is the facilitator coach. So they will be coaching, they will be do coaching for a subordinate or manager. Subordinate is actually will be reporting under one manager. So as the executive is the subordinate to the manager. Okay, so for example, the coach is the academic advisor. So the student will everything will be conducted by just further with the academic advisor. So next is facilitative trainer. A facilitative trainer, they will deliver in a big class like indoor or outdoor. For example, the CIT lecturer, they mainly teach about the CIT itself. And the last one, the fifth one, is the facilitative leader, which is they will conduct it in a small group discussion. For example, the alumni, the MPT. So this is the training industry, where you learn about the facilitative skills, the difference between the trainer, coach and facing, the different rules for training providers, human resource, the different things that you will learn after you graduate, where job certification, or maybe you will jump into this certain kind of job specification. So during the class is being a trainee is a fun and enjoy job, where from the individual assignment, that's the best platform, the first stage of being a trainer. So by the individual assignment, you will learn how to conduct the training itself, how you manage with people, how your body language, how you talk with people, how you conduct from the target need analysis to the evaluation, with come up with the objective. You will learn lots of things from the individual assignment. So individual assignment is the first stage you will learn for you to become successful trainers out there. So that's a very best sharing by the lecturer to us today in class, and we inspire to become a trainer after we graduate.
Next, we didn't learn as much as other weeks before. On that week, Senwa was asking about our progress regarding our training module, training needs analysis, activities, participants, and others. At first, Senwa was asking for volunteers who wants to update him about their progress, so Dini stepped up for being the first volunteer. After Dini telling his progress, Senwa asked him to pick another person to update their progress, and the chain continues until Senwa stopped the chain. Looking at people's progress, we can see that Senwa is a bit worried since some of us didn't start with the TNA yet, and some still confused between the assessment and the activities.
that, Senua elaborate more about TNA and activity. To be honest, that class was the most intense class that we have joined. Done with chapter 9 or week 9, now we proceed to the next topic, which is the energizer. In week 10, we were welcomed in the Google Meet with TikTok music. At first, almost everyone in the class was curious what's with the music. Then Senua told us that on that week, we are learning about energizer. Energizer in training program is a small activity that are not that related to the training program itself. It can be singing, dancing, games, or even Simon Says. Just like the name of the activity, energizers are meant for building up energy among participants. Just like the name of activity, energizers are meant for building up the energy among participants. Energizer can be done at the early session, mid-session, or even at the end of the session. Some trainers use energizer as a small activity in between each session to gain back the energy from the participants. For example, during class Senua, there were several activities that can be considered as energizer had been done. We have karaoke session, pantun session, clapping session, and TikTok session. Enough with week 10.